Okay, I'm going to risk on this particular laptop, it's a bit higher spec than my other machine, I'm going to risk a bigger recording area, so it should go into HD. With this theory, I think, you know, if you get a bigger part of the screen, you can go into HD. So unfortunately, yeah, there were some recordings I couldn't use from earlier, but hopefully these games will be fun anyway. So I've reached 2245 today quite dramatically, but now strong FM. So I hope you enjoyed that colour complex video. Let's see if I can exploit D5 here. It's going to be a Sveshnikov. So cheekily playing A6. So I can cheekily play A4 to stop A6 and B5 in return, and maybe come to C4 to E3 to D5 if given half a chance. But is he going to play for a quick D5? So he's prompted me. Yes. Okay. So we've got a strange battle at hand now. So black hasn't played B5. Black's giving up the dark square bishop. Can I try and just get onto the light squares still? Bishop C4 maybe, which is virtually forced now. So my knight needs to reroute via C4 to E3. Bishop needs to go on E3. Do I mind losing the pawn? F4's not on the cards here. I think bishop B3 for a moment. So if queen C3, maybe just, well, rook B1. Mind you, gets the D4 square, so maybe bishop E3 just to contest D4. It's a bit of a shame. Knight D4. I think you might already have the advantage. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Knight D4. That's the problem with losing C3 here. Ouch. So queen C3, bishop E3, knight D4, panic stations. I take, play rook D1, maybe then knight C4 to E3, and then maybe on E3 look for counterplay, maybe F3 later. I'm trying to use the D5 square. I just want to reroute this knight anyway. It's a shame about the dark square bishop. There are further problems here. Okay, I can play queen E3 now, I hope. So maybe there's still knight C4 on the cards. I was going for a direct attack now. Knight C4, B5, knight B6 maybe? Okay, so he's going to play a bishop move to threaten knight G4. But there might be queen G3 in that event anyway. I just want to get in bishop A3 and then maybe bishop D6 actually. That would also sort out H2 potentially. So bishop A3 here. That looks dangerous. So he's going to play knight G4. It's an outright hack attack. Okay. Queen F4 then? Just trying to defend against some key threats. So knight G4 I can take on F3. Yeah, dangerous. Going for a caveman style hack attack. But what about the centre? Can I defend via the centre, like pretending as if I'm Bologajubov? Defending, like, you know, against Pelikan with the central squares against the direct attack. Okay, there's no G5 at the moment. I'll take. Okay, he's on that, so I can just win the exchange here and give up, of course, the exchange. As bishop takes G7, there's a Zwischenzug. Bishop C4, bishop F6, and his king's in trouble. So bishop here, bishop C4, bishop F6. Or am I losing a piece? Okay. Doesn't seem too bad. I've isolated pawns over here. Knight E3 would be a juicy move, especially without G pawn. So what's going on from a colour complex point of view? No, I've got that on the mind now. Oh dear, oh dear. From a colour complex point of view, I want to play to get onto f5, I think. If I throw in a check, he does get the G file. Does it matter? Is there anything stronger than throwing in a check? I'll throw in the check. So knight e3 next, coming next. Or is it? Hang on. What about knight d6? Hang on, knight d6. If king h8 to really play rook g8. Ah, yes. Okay. So this could be really tricky coming up because of rook g8. Queen d6. There's no knight f4 just yet. If takes, I'm on f7. Bishop's on f7. If the rook does move to the g file, bishop d5 might be stronger in the future for going for e4. Okay, so knight e2 checks now. A major problem. Can I just get rid of that threat for a moment, prophylaxis? The knight's good anyway on e3. It's rerouted from a3. That's the good thing about this position. The knight's pretty. But actually, queen f4. So there's, because of that prophylaxis, there's no knight e2. In fact, can I go for that pawn now? Just queen f4, I hope. Just going for f5. So he's getting a bit down on the clock as well. That's a shame. What about g4 here? For bishop f7? g4, does that break up black's? It's tempting actually. g4 takes. Bishop f7, queen moves. Or just knight takes g4? Okay, I'm going to just play this. Because I think knight takes g4 threatens, you know, or even queen f8 threatens queen g8. But knight g4 threatens knight f6. But I don't know, queen f8 looks actually quite strong for the light square bishop. What does he do to queen f8? Rook g5? I think rook g5 would be sufficient. Okay. Okay, so if I take with the pawn, there's knight e2. That could be a pain. If I take with the knight, I lose f1. Even more of a pain. Okay, knight e2. There's queen g4. What about just rook g1 here for knight e2? Start panicking. Okay, interesting. Okay, I think I'll take here, although I'm not convinced. So we're down to a minute each. I should really speed up. So knight e2, queen g4 is going to win a pawn. I'll get a knight to g4. I'll get the centre with rook d1 to threaten rook d7. So, okay, I've got a nice bishop. I've got a nice rook. Unfortunately, he's blocking. Okay. Actually, that doesn't lose outright because of knight f6. So if I can play that, bishop c6, rook d7. So if h5, bishop c6. So I want to get one over here. Now it's looking a bit dicey again. Have I got an advantage here? Ending past the a pawn. He's not going to make me, is he, with rook e2? So king. If I get the king out, that would have been useful. Okay. Get this pawn going, but is he going to make me? Have to evict the king now. It's not looking too hot. At least I'm not getting mated just yet. Try and get king e2 in. Uh-oh. Hang on. Might be my lucky day. If I don't stalemate him. I just panicked, sorry. Oh, there's too much. There's too much pressure. I'm a bit worried about. So, what is the key move here? Not to avoid a stalemate, without losing on time. Oh dear, oh dear. Just if I just had a few more seconds, I could think about avoiding a stalemate. Oh, it's a bit dramatic. Okay, so that was a bit of a fun game. Yes, so H6, very cheeky improvement, and yes, went a bit crazy this game. So after G4, then D-file attack, and then somehow I'm probably a bit worse here because his king's coming right at me. So he's won a pawn soon. Okay, I was in real trouble, but somehow my pawn salvaged it over there. Okay, comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks very much. Very exciting game, I thought. Thanks.